Most people don't have a problem starting. They have a problem finishing. They start new goals, new habits, new routines, and new plans with excitement and confidence. But weeks later, the motivation is gone. The progress has stopped, and they're back where they started. If that keeps happening, it doesn't mean you're lazy, weak, or incapable. It means something deeper is getting in the way. There are psychological reasons why people quit long before they reach the result they want. And until you understand those reasons, you'll keep repeating the same cycle over and over again. In this video, you'll discover why you never finish what you start, what's really causing you to quit, and how to finally become someone who follows through. The beginning is always exciting. A new goal makes you feel motivated. A new habit makes you feel productive. A new plan makes you believe that this time, everything will be different. But then, reality arrives. The work becomes repetitive. The results come slower than expected. And the excitement starts to fade. That's the point where most people quit. Not because they don't want success, but because they misunderstand how progress actually works. The truth is, finishing what you start has very little to do with motivation and everything to do with psychology. Once you understand what's happening inside your mind, you can break the cycle of starting over and finally build the consistency that creates real change. Most people believe they quit because they lose motivation, but that's not the real reason. The real problem is that they expect motivation to stay. In the beginning, everything feels exciting. A new goal gives you energy. A new habit makes you feel hopeful. You imagine the results, and that vision pushes you forward. But motivation is an emotion, and emotions never last forever. After a few days or weeks, the excitement fades, and suddenly, the goal feels harder than before. That's the moment where most people make a mistake. They think the loss of motivation means something is wrong. It doesn't. It's actually the point where real progress begins. The people who finish what they start are not the ones who stay motivated. They're the ones who keep moving after motivation leaves. That's the difference between interest and commitment. One of the biggest reasons people never finish what they start is because they mistake discomfort for failure. The moment something becomes difficult, boring, frustrating, or repetitive, they assume they're on the wrong path. But discomfort is not a sign to stop. In many cases, it's proof that you're growing. Think about it. Every meaningful goal eventually reaches a stage where the excitement disappears and the work remains. That's where most people quit. They chase the feeling they had at the beginning instead of accepting the reality of progress. Real growth is often uncomfortable because it forces you to do things that your old self would avoid. If you learn to stay with the discomfort, instead of running from it, you'll immediately put yourself ahead of most people. Because success rarely belongs to the most talented. It usually belongs to the person who stayed when everyone else left. Every time you quit something important, you lose more than progress. You lose trust in yourself. At first, it seems small. You tell yourself you'll start again tomorrow, next week, or next month. But after enough unfinished goals and broken promises, something changes. You stop believing your own words. You begin to doubt whether you'll actually follow through. That's why finishing matters so much. It's not just about reaching a goal. It's about building self-respect. Confidence doesn't come from positive thinking or motivational quotes. Confidence comes from proving to yourself that you can be trusted. Every time you complete something, even a small task, you strengthen that trust. And every time you keep a promise to yourself, you become a little more certain that you can handle bigger challenges in the future. That's how real confidence is built, one completed commitment at a time. Another reason people quit too soon is because they're obsessed with results. They want proof that their effort is working, and they want it quickly. But real progress doesn't happen that way. Most of the important changes happen long before you can see them. Your habits are changing. Your discipline is improving. Your mindset is getting stronger. But because the results aren't visible yet, you start believing that nothing is happening. That's where people give up. They judge the process too early. Imagine planting a seed and digging it up every few days to check if it's growing. That's exactly what many people do with their goals. They expect immediate rewards for long-term work. The people who succeed learn a different lesson. They focus on the process, not the outcome. They keep showing up, trusting that today's effort is creating tomorrow's result, even when they can't see it yet. Many people fail because they make their goals too big and their expectations too high. They try to transform their entire life overnight. They want perfect habits, perfect discipline, and perfect results. But when the pressure becomes too much, they burn out and quit. The truth is, consistency grows from small wins, not giant leaps. A person who reads 5 pages every day will eventually finish more books than someone who waits for the perfect mood to read 50. A person who takes one step forward every day builds momentum. And momentum is powerful because it creates belief. Small actions may not look impressive in the moment, but they compound over time. The goal is not to do everything today. The goal is to do something today and come back tomorrow. That's how ordinary actions become extraordinary results. The biggest change happens when you stop focusing on what you're trying to achieve and start focusing on who you're becoming. Most people ask, how do I stay motivated? But a better question is, what would someone who finishes do right now? A person who follows through doesn't wait for the perfect mood. They don't need constant inspiration. They simply do the next thing that needs to be done. Maybe it's a small task. Maybe it's an uncomfortable conversation. Maybe it's showing up when they'd rather quit. Over time, these actions shape your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who starts and stops. You become someone who follows through. And once that identity takes root, finishing is no longer a struggle. It's part of who you are. Real change begins when consistency becomes your character, not just your goal. The truth is, finishing what you start isn't about talent, intelligence, or motivation. It's about learning to keep going after the excitement fades. Every unfinished goal teaches your mind to doubt itself. Every completed goal teaches your mind to trust itself. That's why success belongs to people who stay committed, when progress feels slow, when results feel invisible, and when quitting feels easier than continuing. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to feel ready. Choose one thing that matters to you and keep moving forward, one step at a time. Because the life you want isn't built by people who start strong. It's built by people who finish. And from this moment on, that person can be you.